there. So hey, markets is marketing, man. So we got some news before we even get into the charts, man. I got a few news that I would love to hear your thoughts about, man.
Let me hear it.
How we do it. So we're gonna go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and see what didn't happen, man.
Okay.
So Monday. Let me pull the SPY chart up too. Monday we had U.S. and Iran. They ended up agreeing to settle a deal in the next 60 days. Today we also just got that news that the ships have been flowing for the last 4 days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's looking promising. It's looking like we're gonna continue and we continue in, and it's gonna continue to stay open. Sorry about that. Tell me how you feel about that, man. You see anything about it?
Yes, I have. My opinion on it is it's long overdue, man. We've also been here before. Hopefully the strait stays open. You know what I'm saying? It gives opportunity for the oil to flow. The oil is down as well. Oil hit like $78 a barrel the last time I looked.
Last time
I think it was like 76, 78.
I just looked the other day. He was right. I just got something this morning that said it dropped as well. So
Freshman.
69 right
69. That is insane. So just touching on that, man, we see that now that the deal is made, oil isn't outrageous, right? Now,
back to what you're even saying about oil. The WTI, March 2nd was the last time we have fallen below $70. Brent crude, this is the lowest level it's been at since before the U.S. and Israel launched airstrikes against Iran on February 28th. So this is the lowest oil has been since February 28th. I read earlier that it'll take a couple weeks for those gas prices to go down because the oil suppliers, it'll take a couple weeks for them to just get the gasoline prices down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah. Just to continue on what you said, that's why I brought that up.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense, man. Hopefully that not only the gas is positively affected, but also the markets too, man. We get the same type of results from not only oil, but SPY, right? The NAS, commodities, all that.
Yeah, man. So, that's some new news. Let's hope that sticks. U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday criticized oil companies for not lowering gasoline prices in line with the recent decline in crude prices.
You can smell the get over right there, though, too. And they're trying to milk that money as best as possible.
Yeah. Right there.
Oh, shit, I got you.
Go ahead.
The big oil companies are not dropping their price at the pump commensurate with the sharply lower prices they are paying for oil. Those prices are dropping like a rock, Trump wrote in a Truth Social post. In other words, customers are being gouged. I have instructed the DOJ to immediately start looking into this. Gasoline prices better start going down a lot faster than what I'm seeing. So he's threatening these big oil companies. That's the Exxon. What's that? What's another one?
ExxonMobil, Chevron,
Shell.
As a result, actually, let's see how these companies are doing as a result. This is the FCW portfolio. Let's go to the watch list. So you got these companies dropping as a result, man. Ooh. Chevron was pushing towards 200 March 26th when the oil prices was really high and the war started. Now we're at 170. ExxonMobil had a high of 175 March 26th. And now it's at 136, man. If you've been in the Discord, man, you was able to cop it when it was down here when we was talking about it around even last year, but that was last year. You guys really ain't getting hip until now. You know what I'm saying? Full circle wealth ain't starting growing until 2026. Y'all was late to the party. We was early to the party. 104 to 175. We got in the oil, man. We already knew about that. But look,
those charts are looking the same. The Exxon and the Chevron,
right? That's the oil suppliers for you, man.
Crazy.
Just like I was talking about, I made a few Instagram videos about that. Wherever they're taking money from us, there's somewhere else for us to get it back on the other side.
Right, it's that cycle.
If you knew about the market, you're investing into these oil companies as the gas prices is going high, and you using you could be using the profits from these oil companies to make up all the stuff that you already been spending on gas. So you're getting it right back, and when you take your profit or however you do it, man, understand the markets, man. Some other news. Google is still kind of staying in that range today. We ended up broken out. This is a clear example of support and resistance, man. We got them circles up there. It was resisting that 369, resisted off that 369. It was supporting off that and bouncing off that 354. We blew right through the support, tested 342, but Google ended up dropping due to the fact that its top researchers leaving the OpenAI and Anthropic. But then Tuesday, the next day, they ended up saying that, hey, they ended up announcing that Google will be replacing Verizon in the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones Industrial Average Index made up of 30 of the most prominent companies, right? You see these tech companies falling. Another reason as to why you should be buying a dip, because anytime they end up going red out of nowhere, it's not a reason to be fearful, because at the end of the day, they added them to the Dow Jones, signaling that this is still a prominent company. This is still a growing company. And we look at the numbers, we ain't just looking at the charts and the headlines. So how you feel about the Google and the leaving for OpenAI and the Anthropic and, that rivalry that we got going on now, man?
Yeah, like when you do something for so long and you see that it's working, right? But there might be a better way to use it and effectively utilize that skill set what you're doing. I feel like this is one of those plays right here. We know how big Google is, but we also know the upbringing of OpenAI and Anthropic. These are two major companies that are IPOing this year. I think Anthropic is in October. I forget when OpenAI is, but you're waiting for that Anthropic. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see what their IPO price is. But I feel like that's one of these type of examples where, just like something works, but I'm going to this place to work it more effectively. Yeah. I think the upside is massive on their part. John Jumper is one of the guys' names. I forgot the other guys, like Zara or Zanif. It's something like that. Start with a Z.
But no, that's a good point that you made. Like that's they leaving what's trying to continue to be the future for what already is the future. Exactly. I mean, Anthropic already got Cloud. OpenAI, they're lagging behind Anthropic, but honestly, OpenAI, they got ChatGPT. That's the forerunner in that model space, and these guys already have the models. These models is going to be in the businesses, and Google's actually doing their thing, adding their AI models and growing their AI. And I had just watched a documentary on that DeepMind. We actually watched that together in the Discord community, because we're live every day. That's why you need to join. Right? We learning up every day. We end up watching a documentary on Google's DeepMind, right? And that is their AI, the AI startup that they bought for $400 million in 2014, and they were like the pioneers of this whole AI space. So Google's still there. They're just trying to make sure that they still compete, because they got to keep up with Anthropic, OpenAI, all these language models, these companies, and they're being the best right now throughout the top tech companies. So Google has dropped 15% from its all-time high. It's at 400. The all-time high was at 400. It's still below 400. I mean, if you get it below 400, Google's gonna for sure be a $500 stock. They're for sure gonna get another split down the line, I believe. I mean, they're right here. It says their guided 2026 capex, which is the money that they're going to be spending on investing into things to build the business, 180 to 190 billion, and said spending will rise again in 2027. I mean, these companies ain't playing. You got Google spending money, you got Meta spending money. I think Amazon too. These companies is just trying to really stay afloat with this AI stuff, man. Because if they get pushed out, they have that chance to get pushed out. Yeah. They have that chance because you got to make sure that you're staying afloat. What was you about to say?
Touching on that, these two deep AI researchers, they're leaving. I think another thing, what I was going to say was, I think another thing for Google is the fact that they're not primarily an AI company like OpenAI and Anthropic is, and so they have a lot of other things that they work and put their money into. So that's why they're a $1 trillion company. But when it comes to creating a $1 trillion company that's in the lower billions or whatever the case may be, man, yeah,
that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? That what would you call that? That upscale.
Just that upside and that upside, in the market, we would look at the asymmetric upside. You know what I'm saying? Because for example, what you just said, it triggered the thought of Anthropic hasn't been IPO'd yet.
Yeah.
We just had a person who just left Google, and this was the guy that left for Anthropic said. They said he already left before. This was his second time back, and he hasn't even been there for 2 years and said, I'm going to Anthropic.
Yeah.
Anthropic is about the IPO. We just saw what happened with the SpaceX shares being IPO. If he's an employee at Anthropic, he gets some shares, you get some private shares, you get the benefit from that, and then you get the benefit from the IPO. From when everybody else invests, you make all that money.
Let alone what they might use him for at Anthropic too. They might put his skill set to extreme measures, while at Google, you know what I'm saying, they prioritize a little bit of other things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
you're right, because you might have some more fun working on OpenAI. I mean, AI is AI.
Right.
Working with these large language models, that's something different. You ain't working on no web browsers no more.
Yep, nah.
So that was we still on Monday. So this is all Monday. On Monday, Amazon drops as well, right?